When you see a kid heading down a road that is not good, but every year, because they're connected to you, you see them get a little better, that's very fulfilling to me. To know I changed the path of someone's potential course. That's very fulfilling.
These teachers were paid to share their stories. Made and paid partnership with GoFundMe.
My name is Stephanie and I teach 10th grade math.
I teach middle school, 6th through 8th grade.
I teach all marketing courses, just real world stuff for kids.
This is definitely what I was meant to do for the rest of my life, and I'm glad I've stuck it out heading into year 8.
Who's the troublemaker?
All of them. I cannot have lunch by myself. They constantly want to talk to me about things that has nothing to do with school.
How are you known as a teacher?
I guess fun, loud, maybe the cool guy sometimes.
Due to the fact that I am an African-American male, it gives a rare opportunity for these students to have an educator who actually looks like them.
For this video, we've partnered with our friends at GoFundMe, who donated $100 to the teachers that are in this video. How much do you usually spend on your classroom to get ready?
$400 to $500 plus.
$500 or more.
I would say at least $1,000.
I spend roughly $1,500 altogether in school supplies.
Out of your pocket?
Yeah, for
How
sure.
much does your school district give you?
I really don't have a budget.
I just don't even think about it because ultimately what I'm thinking about is how can I make a student's learning experience more engaging and get rid of all of the red tape that ultimately most teachers have to go through.
I'm at a Title I school where a lot of my kids don't have funds to go to the store and buy supplies, so that comes out of my pocket. A lot of teachers have part-time jobs just to help pay for supplies.
But it's your summer vacation. You need to relax.
Tell me about it.
How did you decide on what to get with that $100?
I thought, what are the things I need to do in my job? What are the things that the students need?
A lot of kids ask me for these supplies here.
First and foremost, got a whole bunch of snacks.
I tend to buy a lot of snacks because how can a student think about solving a math problem if they're worried about whether or not their stomach's going to growl?
Scissors are something that get lost really easy. There's a running joke, in my class every time we do desk clean out, which student is going to have like 5 or 6 pairs of scissors in their desk.
I thought the chair was super dope. I'm able to have a safe space for my students to, kind of decompress if need be.
Am I seeing magic erasers over there?
Yeah, I go to an art school and sometimes students let their creativity kind of go on the desk.
Very underrated supply is an electric pencil sharpener just because the hand crank just isn't going to cut it. You got to stop your lesson and go help little Susie with the hand crank pencil sharpener because it's just eating away at her pencil.
And then deodorant. When I do deal with middle school students, self-care is huge, right? Of course, not all students have access to everything, so I want to have some things like that readily available for them.
How does it feel creating a GoFundMe for the first time?
It almost feels a little bit empowering because I feel like I'm finally naming a need and I'm asking for help, and I think that asking for support is sometimes the hardest part. So it's like getting all the feelings out there.
I don't want my students to always learn within the classroom space. I want opportunities to go on field trips, experience the world.
This is my first time doing GoFundMe. I'm at a Title I school. Our kids sometimes don't get the same opportunity as a school that's not Title I. That's what keeps me up at night because they deserve to have those same experiences.
Tell me about what your classroom means to you.
It's something that I kind of envision all the time, and when I'm not at school, I'm thinking about how I can make school and my classroom better.
I have everything set up in there, like my coffee shop, my snack station for my kids. They have a cool down corner where they can, get their stress out. It's my home away from home.
Like home away from home. They're with me for 9 months, 6.5, 7 hours a day. That's kind of more consistent time straight than maybe their families. Creating an environment where they're free to be themselves, free to make mistakes, that's huge.
They will call you at midnight if they're stuck outside. They will ask for Uber rides, food if they don't have any in their house. If something happens to them, you're technically their guardian. They look up to you more than sometimes their parents.
What's been one of your lowest moments in your career?
So I think my lowest would just be thinking about the students that I felt like I just couldn't reach.
Almost every year, a student either passes away or they get into a car accident. Those are my roughest days. I've seen my kids have kids. I'm there for the birth. I'm there for the funerals. I'm there for the doctor's appointments. But I'm also there when they go to college. I'm also there when they move into their new apartment. So it's a balance.
Your job is hard, so why do you do it?
Simply because of love.
There's so many opportunities and so many amazing things that happen every day.
Have you ever thought about giving up?
Every year, I try to quit. And every year they're like, if you leave, I'm gonna drop out of school. If you leave, I'm gonna do this. And it's like, okay, I'm coming back, relax.
You know, teacher burnout's a real thing, and I've seen it. I've been really fortunate to have a lot of people in my corner where I can go to if I need to vent. So far, so good in that front.
Like overall, like what are your hopes and dreams for your students?
I hope that when they leave, they're like, I can do more. I don't have to just settle for mediocre. I can do more in life. That's what I hope for every one of my kids.
Making this GoFundMe, do you think your community can help you reach your goal?
Oh yeah, 100%. Shoot, every single one of my students is a product of the community, and they will continue to be a part of the community moving forward.
But I don't think people actually realize how much teachers support their community. And it's not that we are bitter about it, but I think fundraising and making sure that the community is putting all hands on deck can be a great way to help out, you know, a child who might need a little bit more extra.
I think every little bit helps. Realizing there's people out there that are willing to help teachers has been a blessing for me, for sure.
Visit the link on the screen to support teachers who are raising money for their classrooms.
Great job.